So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So today the topic is around bankruptcy, probate, and divorce. Those that do not know me, or maybe you've heard my name, but you're not certain on my background. Personally, I've done over 5,000 transactions. The transactions have to do with corporations, corporate relocation, bank owned, life events, data mining, working with investors, and everything in between. I've been an agent for a little over 20 years. Thriving in a down market is something that I would say is my passion. I love impacting people through life events because I personally have gone through more life events than anyone probably would ever want to have. My mom, dad, and sister died all 9 years apart. I personally have had a divorce. I am happily married for 18 plus years to an awesome man. I've got 3 kids. I'm a MAPS coach, a team leader. I am the community leader for Keller Williams Relocation. And I am the leader for Dominate Off-Market Listings. I say that to you is it's important to know, in my opinion, the people that are coaching and teaching and educating you, that they know exactly what they're teaching, that it is things that they've put in place and put in practice. So that is something I'm going to do and share with you here today. So today our topic is bankruptcy, probate, and divorce, and how to be able to get quick sales from those. I'm going to share with you the reason, and I call it the reason and why around those 3 buckets, some things that you can understand around the legal process to open your mind up, and some actionable things that you can go do and implement into your business. Those that have never seen me teach, I'm going to give you a lot of content. I am going to give you action items. I'm going to give you a place that you can go and get what I'm sharing with you here today when we're done at the end of our call. I want to make sure that the time that you have, regardless of this being a free webinar or not, is something that you can go do and implement right away in your business. Okay, so bankruptcy, probate, which is a death, and divorce are some of the biggest life events that any person in your sphere, whether it's yourself or people you know, are going to encounter in their life. So being able to specialize in those items and being that trusted advisor for people going through one of the hardest things that they've ever gone through in their life is going to give you repeat and referral business. I want you to imagine when someone's going through an event, maybe you yourself went through a divorce or a death, that person that was there to help you every step of the way through that process, you're never going to forget that person. All right, I'm going to start with first and foremost bankruptcy. I want to give you, for those that aren't aware, it's a legal process through individuals or businesses that can't pay their debt. They seek relief for their debts. In some cases, assets of the debtor may be liquidated or sold off to pay off the creditors. In many cases, this is real estate. So that's a component. Probate, this is the legal process of administering a deceased person's estate, which includes distributing their assets according to their will if there's no will according to the state laws. Real estate owned by the deceased might need to be sold to distribute the assets. So what that means, I call it in a simple terms. There's 2 different ways that you as a real estate agent, utilizing data, and I'll share with you what that means, can connect with people. There's when a death occurs, and that death certificate is public record and it files. That is the beginning of the process. I want you to imagine anyone you know, any loss that you may have had, that is the beginning of the process. Now, the end of the what is filed in public records is probate. That is when it's filed that they're going through the process to disperse of their belongings, their assets, their property. I show in my class a clear way on how to be able to identify both paths. Divorce. Some of you may have gone through a divorce. People in your world may have gone through a divorce. It is either a happy moment or it is a moment of, I call it surprise or struggle or pain. And I say that around divorce because I've been through one myself, and I've helped many couples and families go through a divorce. Now, when a couple decides to legally end their marriage and often have to distribute their shared assets, including any real estate they own, sometimes this means selling the property and dividing the proceeds. Now, us as real estate agents, those 3 core life events, we can be part of each and every one of them. So I would say to you, if that's something that you're interested in and you're passionate about, what are you doing to be able to be that expert that anybody in your sphere, your world, your community knows that you're the person that can help them? Now, predictable demand. Unfortunately, no matter what happens in our world, no matter the interest rates, no matter what is occurring in our world, divorce, death, and financial troubles are constant in human societies. It's constant in our world. An agent that specializes in this niche, it is a shift-proof business. Motivated sellers. In many of these situations, the parties involved are often motivated to sell quickly, either to distribute assets or to pay off debts. So we're looking at, I have a lot of conversations lately around now business. Christina, my sphere, my farm, these are things that I'm nurturing for later. How can I get business and how can I get it now? When you are dealing in the form of life events and you're dealing in the form of people going through one of the hardest things in their life, that is what I call now business. So we either stumble into it because of our prospecting or our sphere, or we become strategically an expert, how we can impact our community and our surroundings, where people in our world feel comfortable reaching out to us. So again, I hope that creates some awareness for some that may or may not know. Complexity, these transactions, they're complex. There's going to be added legal considerations. An agent with these expertise, you guys are going to be able to navigate the ins and outs. I am so excited that our next course launch, that is just in a few weeks, we will be doing high-level advanced masterminds on a separate date through these topics to be able to help you get into mastery on mastering these items in your business. Now, one of the biggest core components is network building. An agent who specializes in such sales often collaborates with attorneys, accountants, other professionals, expanding your network. So I want you to think about in your own world, and part of your action items I'm going to give you here today is we've got to have a list of the people in the different life events, divorce, bankruptcy, probate. I'm going to add another one we're not deep diving in today, which is IRS or tax liens. Make a list and put that as an action item to do on attorneys that specialize in this in your area. At least 2 minimum for each one of those. And then we're going to look and we're going to learn together, if you guys are part of my next upcoming course, on which specialties are part of each one of these life events. Probate, you may have somebody that is going to specialize in probate sales, that's going to come clean out the property, help your seller, and that's an added benefit to your client. Now we're going to have diversification. Specialize in these niches. It's going to allow you the diversity. And what I mean by that is many of you may be here today looking at your lead sources, looking at your ROI, looking at what you're spending money on, your pipeline. Do you have enough in your pipeline to create the results you need? The diversification by adding these life events is shift proof that regardless of what happens in the market, you're going to be able to create business, now business, and later business by impacting people in your community that need you and need your help during these events. Now, as we grow emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is understanding how we can be I always mess up this word. It's empathy, right? Empathy, compassion, understanding, and building trust during these times. Now, the next thing I want to share with you is the opportunity to provide value. Providing value during the time that they're going through and helping them will be never forgotten. Now I'm going to show you in a few minutes, and I'm going to give you some conversations. I'm going to give you an email example, and I'm going to show you that data can create this super easy for you. If this is something that you're interested in, I want you to know that you're going to have now business, and then you're going to have becoming that expert. You have to choose for you what brings you the most passion and what path you're willing to follow. Now, I like to group and train divorce, bankruptcy, and probate into one on a simple webinar like this, because in many ways, it is the same actions to create the relationships. You're going to work with attorneys. You're going to work with everyone that each life event deals with, divorce, mediators, things to that nature. I'm so excited about what's to come and all of the amazing trainings we're going to have. I want you to imagine working with a group of agents that are all going to be doing the same things and the energy that's going to provide. And I know Gracie's going to provide some details for you guys. So if you're interested in considering a specialized niche, you should be prepared to deal with emotions. This is the big, I call it disclaimer, I want to say to each and every one of you. These three life events, bankruptcy, divorce, and probate, the emotion that somebody is dealing with, us as an agent, we have to be prepared and willing to be there during that time. So learning empathy, learning how to be able to help and support them is super important. That's why training and education is important, as well as the professionals that specialize with them through what they're going through. So as an example, and we already said a little bit about attorneys, bankruptcy attorneys, divorce lawyers, probate attorneys, local organizations, and much more. So I'm going to share with you guys here some resources today. I almost call it a memory jogger. I want you to think about in your world the different vendors, the different service providers that do impact these different life events. Now, as we identify these vendors, as we identify these attorneys, then we're going to need to reach out to them. We're either going to pick up the phone, raise our hand, and say, hey, you know, I'm here to connect with you. My name's Christina Griffin. I'm an agent that works with people going through divorce, and I want to be able to provide great divorce attorneys or great divorce mediators. Can you share with me your services? And how I can share those with my client, and is there anything at all that I can help you with? Now we're going to start by addressing, this is important, we're going to start by addressing the things that we would like, express our desire to connect, highlight any relevant experience, or any reason around why we're connecting with them. I'm a big proponent of picking up the phone. Many of us, we like to streamline mail, email. So picking up the phone with attorneys, mailing and emailing, and doing all three will help increase your success. And this is something your leverage can also do for you. Now I'm going to pause for a minute before I go into the attorney list and I go into an email that you can send. And I just want to show and open your everyone's here mind up to how easily and available this data is. Okay, give me just 1 second. All right. Hold on, I want to check, make sure. Gracie, if there's any messages that I need to handle, if you can shoot me a quick message, I'd appreciate it. All right, guys, now let's look at some data. Let's have some fun. Now I'm going to show you my own area because my own area, I'm in Hillsborough County, Florida. I just going to give that to you as an example. Give me 1 second. Graham, can I have screen share, please?
Oh yeah, you bet. Sorry. 1 sec.
It's okay.
Pulling up.
All right. So I'm going to show you we have different ways that we can connect. We're going to become that community expert. In addition to that, we are going to become that community expert. We're going to utilize data to target people that are going through life events. And then we're going to connect with the service providers that impact them. Okay, hold on 1 second. Loving seeing all of the emails and things that you guys are sharing, networking and things like that. Just shows a great power of, I call it community. All right, I'm going to give you guys today a ton of resources. I'm going to also give you different programs that I use, and we're going to share with you the programs that I have coming up, that how they can help and impact your business. So this is just one particular one that I have. I'll show you how to access it. So I live in Hillsborough County, or my office is in Hillsborough County, Florida. We've got 2,666 pre-foreclosures. Many of you are thinking, how in the world do I know the people before I get into relationships with the attorneys in my sphere to specialize in this field? So I am going to just share with you a few numbers and stats to open your mind up. Yes, I'm already getting private messages. What are you looking at? How can I see this? What program? So we have 367 people that have a death certificate filed. We have, in addition to that, 4,354 divorce properties, people going through a divorce. We have, in addition to that, 613 people going through bankruptcy. I want you to imagine, if this is something you're passionate about, I will be giving you plays that you can execute on connecting with people that are going through these life events. Bankruptcy, they're either going to work out an agreement to keep the property or they're going to be forced to sell. Divorce, one of them is going to keep the property or they're going to be forced to sell. Probate, they're either going to sell the property because of the death, sell it when it occurs, or they're going to sell it later. What other prospecting do you do that it's a 1 in 3 opportunity that if you get into a relationship with the people that are going through this life event, that it can create a sale for you? I'm passionate about helping agents and educating you on why this is important. But death, bankruptcy, and divorce are some of the biggest things that people go through. Okay. So again, I just wanted to show you how you can utilize programs. IRS, again, is another big component as well. It is very similar. You can utilize programs like I just showed you. You can go to your courthouse if you choose to do that. And that's part of what I teach. You need to go to your courthouse. It's the official records. Clerk of the circuit court. This is where we go for pre-foreclosures as well. And we find out, where can I find the pre-foreclosures, the bankruptcy, the divorce, and probate? It's all public record. The system I showed you is just one of many. part of what I do is help you pull those records as well for what we're doing. Let me show you what I just shared, because again, a lot of you are asking, Christina, how can I get that program? So I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to give you some action items here today. So I do want to go through, first and foremost, we don't have to overcomplicate things. We can truly simplify them. Many of us, we overcomplicate things. So when it comes to a getting into relationship with an attorney or any provider that is directly in relationship with somebody going through something that they're going to need our service, we are seeking collaboration. That is truly what it is. And I'm going to, again, give you the copy and paste so you can specialize it for yourself. So it's basically, I hope this email finds you well. My name is Christina Griffin. I am a real estate agent specializing in, let's just give one, divorce. After researching local professionals in these fields, I came across your practice, and I would like to connect with you. I have a deep understanding of the unique challenges and requirements that clients face during divorce, probate, whatever one you want to use. My goal is to collaborate with attorneys like yourself to provide comprehensive real estate solutions. There are a few more paragraphs. You guys can modify it, but I would like to close with, I would be greatly appreciated the opportunity to meet with you for a coffee or schedule a phone call to discuss potential collaboration. I believe that by combining our expertise, we can provide exceptional support to our clients and achieve mutually beneficial results. Here's something I want you to think about. And I saw several messages around, I can't get past the gatekeepers. When you go in and the conversation is, I want you to sell me on your services. I want you to share with me how I can share with my client how they can work with you. That's not asking for anything. Getting past the gatekeepers and them selling their services and the rules around divorce or bankruptcy or probate or pre-foreclosure or IRS. That's why I pick up the phone first. And picking up the phone is simpler and easier. Email 100%. Have that email prepared. My name's Christina Griffin. I saw you guys advertised on Facebook. A client of mine referred you to me. I wanted to connect with you to see how I can share your service with my clients and if there's anything at all. Now, it's okay if they already deal with multiple real estate agents, because here's why. It's the same method with investors. The more people we send to them, the more people they think of. When it comes to bankruptcy and we get in relationship with a bankruptcy attorney, they then get us into relationship with bankruptcy trustees those are automatic assignments. Divorce, they have hundreds of people that go through their office each and every single year. An agent that they may work with may not be the best fit, but I want you to think about how many agents, let's just say probate as an example, have spoken to a probate attorney and said, I'd love to collaborate with you. Guys, death certificates, and again, I've heard, don't be an ambulance chaser. I'm not. I'm your neighborhood agent. And when the death happens, it's in their mailbox. Death certificates are public. What would it look like if you reached out to a probate attorney and collaborated with that probate attorney on those death certificates to do your touches? I personally have had over 10 conversations in the last 2 weeks with those different attorney buckets. They've never had an agent reach out to them around collaborating for advertising, collaborating to help them grow, and in return, you're going to grow together. So it's a different mindset change. So I hope you guys I hope that clicks and resonates with everybody. All right. So I'm going to keep going. And yes, I'm not screen sharing the conversation, but I'm going to show you where it's located. And then we're going to answer a few questions. Okay.
Oh.
All right. And then I'll get the hands raised in just a second. All right. So I'm going to show you where the information shared. Some of you that have seen me teach before, I always load new information into a Google Drive that you can download at any time. So you're going to see download tips to get more referrals. It's under my personal blog, which is christinagriffin.com. So under download tips to get more referrals, you're going to put your email address and your phone number. And you can absolutely put whatever phone number you like. It's still going to open the information. Okay. And you're going to have a drive that opens, and that drive that opens is going to give you content and data that you can utilize and you can use in your business. There's going to be golden letters. There's going to be conversations that you can utilize. You're going to see here under promo for bankruptcy, probate, and divorce, you're going to see different blog articles that I've written that you can share and you can utilize in your own business, and you can personalize them. You're going to also see letters. You're going to also see different referrals and different other things that I personally have created for you that you can utilize. Now, under links to share is going to show you the site that I shared, as well as some of my other favorites here today. So it's going to show you different links, and PropStream is the one that I personally shared. It's going to give you promotion details from my upcoming class. And you're going to see here under this particular site a link for a free 30-day trial to the data that I shared here today, which is under PropStream. Now, I do have a few more things that I'd like to share with you guys, but I want to pause for a minute because we've got some hands raised and some private messages as well. And I'm going to, in return, go ahead and answer any questions. Okay. All right. I thought I saw a hand. All right. Go ahead, Minnie. How are you today?
I am great. And I really appreciate what you're sharing because I always wanted to know how to break into this. I've been in the business for a while. So my question is, when you were saying when you speak to these attorneys and you're I need to know exactly what to say to them. If I don't have anybody to refer to them, how do I break in with them to get the business? That's what I wanted to say.
So I'm completely passionate about working with people that are going through a divorce in our community. You were somebody that was recommended to me as an attorney, and I just wanted to check in with you to see what type of information that I can share with the people that I'm going to connect with, any state rules or regulations, and I would just love to learn more about what you do.
Okay, so I don't have to have a person's name that recommended.
Mhm.
That could have been in a conversation with several people because he's an attorney.
Well, it could have been the simple fact that on Facebook, I looked you up. I looked up attorneys, and your ratings they stuck out to me. And
Mhm.
I just took a class, and I'm looking to see how I can help our community in a bigger way. I just want you to tell me more about what you do. I want you to think about all the people from divorce to bankruptcy to anybody, any business you call, because I do work with a lot of people that are doing, I call it more corporation sales. I want you to think about it. Everyone that calls them just want to talk to them about their business. It's just
You-
it's just a
You're
sale.
giving
Does that make sense, Minnie?
Yes, it does. Yes, it
Yeah.
does. You giving this as a course
Yeah, yeah.
class?
Yes, ma'am. I personally have a great program. We're launching a whole new advanced program as well, and we've got some just really great things that we're getting ready to launch. So with you guys being here, you do have a discount that you get that Gracie's putting details in the chat around. So for you, what I would say is I attorneys, businesses, corporations, anything, regardless if you have a client or not. Um, when we reach out to them and we say that we would like to learn more about their business and how we can utilize this with the clients that we're going to prospect for, that's more of a business call, right? We're going to connect with them. And if they won't take the time or day and you can't get past the gatekeepers, guys,
Next.
next. There are more attorneys in the areas that you work in,
Mhm.
and that's exactly next. Move on. I hope
Thank
that
you.
makes sense to you.
Yes, yes, it does make sense. Would it also, since I am a notary too, and I can let them know that? Does that
Yeah,
help?
you can. So here's my favorite thing. Whether it's an investor, an attorney, or a business, I want to learn more about you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, is there anything I can help you with?
Anything I can help you is that's the
100%. I just recently
thank
had
you.
an agent that took one of my classes that called a large investor that had hundreds of homes, called the investor, said, is there anything I can help you with? You know what? I've got a few hundred rentals I need to rent that my property manager isn't working well on. We don't know unless we ask. And I will tell you, those big conversations, they're so much more powerful. And what's the worst thing they can do? They can say no.
Yeah. Next.
Next, exactly. Minnie, reach out
Thank you.
if you have any questions. Guys, I'm getting a lot of private messages as well. I want you to know that this particular class, it's a little different than future because we're preparing for a really exciting program that's going to launch in a few months. We're going to have the normal content, which is going to be on Tuesdays. The normal content is 12 weeks. We're going to have Q&A after that. Now, everyone that is part of the class, you get part of the normal content and you get part of the advanced content. The advanced content is on the second day. Some of you may be here and say, you know what, man, I used to do bank foreclosures, or I used to work short sales, or I do one or two of these, but I don't want to learn the I call it the basic, or it's not basic, it's a lot of content. I'd rather be part of higher level discussions. That is going to be on a separate day. So those that are part of what we're doing, you get part of both. So we have a lot of resources, a lot of really great things, but my goal is to provide as much value as possible to each and every one of you. So Gracie's posting details as well. Thanks, Minnie. I appreciate you. Harvey, talk to me. What kind of question can I answer? And do I see KW Suburban? So you're in my area.
I'm in New Jersey, actually.
Oh, okay. We have a KW Suburban in Tampa area, but so nice to meet you. Hi, how can I help you?
Thank you. Thank you for this, and thank you for taking my question.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's easy to make an initial call and outreach to attorneys.
Mhm.
Let's say you get them on the phone. I think that is a relatively easy call to make.
Yep.
I think what's more challenging and more difficult, and what is will justify attorneys whose time is money, who will justify them taking your next call and or reading your next email or whatever, is that you show them that there's some value in having an ongoing relationship with them. Is that something that you can address now, or is that something that's much more of
Yeah.
the course?
Yeah, so we'll address I'll address that I'd say on the level I can during the time, but we definitely dive deeper into it. So we're going to have gatekeepers. Those are going to be your best friends. So when you talk to the attorney or you talk to somebody and they share with you details about what they do, biggest thing, when are your office hours, or when would be a good time that I can come by and pick up the material you just shared with me here today? getting there in person and that particular gatekeeper, they're the ones, the attorney's normally not the ones that refers, but it's normally the gatekeeper. Hey, I just had a family here, they're struggling. Hey, this one just called me. But making friends with that gatekeeper is super important. So I like to follow the practice that we call, we talk to them. If they meet with us, I love to do the ongoing meet in person, but if you can put, I call it a pop by in person to get the information, say hello, and things to that nature is going to be important. Now that coffee, Harvey, or that meetup, or just talking in their office, or bringing them, my favorite is bringing them a cup of coffee, because most of the time they don't get out of the office. There are many collaborations that we can do with them. A lot of agents are coming in, or business providers saying, give me business. Not many are saying, how can I market you to be able to grow together? However, I'm also a big proponent is they have to earn the right for me to want to put my name on something that has their name. Anyway, I hope a little bit of that was helpful. We do dive into that on a high level, but the thing I would say to you is, when it's a relationship that they're going to sell us and then we're going to show them how we can help them, getting them into that long term is referring them people and then collaborating with mailers. A lot of agents have a lot of success on the probate mailers. And the probate is when there's a death or something occurs in the person's world where it's public record that a death occurred. Being able to connect with that attorney and doing a collaborative marketing piece gets you into relationship as well. So I hope that helped, but we definitely dive into that on a high level.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, Lee, and then Patricia, and then I'm going to end with just a few more items for you guys.
Thank you so much for taking my question. I'm
Absolutely.
curious what your itemized list is for what you offer to do for clients for probate, because I've done a number of them and I have a list, but I'm just curious, what are some of maybe the top 10 popular things that you offer of value?
So you're going to have prior to probate, and then you're going to have, I call it when the probate occurs. So right. For me, I would say, depending on the situation, you're going to help them obtain death certificates. You're going to help them, regardless of what's going on in the property, deal with cleaning it out, full hands-on. Probate is right. different than the others. We're going to deal with bringing people in. We're going to help with any of the inventory of the assets. We're going to help them if they need to find an attorney. Heck, it could be locating the will. We're going to help them with the appraisal, meeting the appraiser there, identifying the heirs and beneficiaries, any creditors that are needed. We are going to help make sure that I'd say their role is less stressful. Depending on what bucket, it could be that they are going to have to identify the person there, what debts, what things are there. We're going to work with the title company. We're going to help deal with their personal properties. We're going to communicate with all of the heirs. I've dealt with so many that people are fighting, and a lot of times they just want that intermediary, that you're going to be that person that deals with everyone. We're going to help them resolve disputes, high level communication, and really what it boils down to is we are going to be that person that they are going to be able to deal with mourning. They're going to be able to deal with less stress, and we are going to be fully hands-on through the entire process. And we're having all the vendors that I spoke about comes in hand is they take a lot of pressure off, because you guys may think that, man, that sounds like a lot of stuff, Christina. But if we have support networks, it's not going to feel like so much. When I deal with, I'd say a bank foreclosure is an example. I had a break-in last night at 9 o'clock at night on one of my listings. But when you have the right vendors to help and support you, it makes everything easier. So that was probably a long answer to your question. It depends on the scenario, but really we're there to all hands on deck. I do have checklists based upon the system, or based upon what they're going through that I provide. But really just being there for whatever they need and doing that needs assessment in the beginning makes things easier and simpler for them. I hope that helped, or a little bit.
Yes. Is the needs assessment and the checklist that you have, is that part of your G Drive that you were offering?
The needs assessment and the checklist is not, because that's part of our class, but I do have
Okay.
I do have some helpful items when it comes to I'd say just some details around probate, some blogs, and some other things that I provide. But
Okay.
you know,
Perfect.
I really truly there's so many ways to deal with probate, from seniors to everything in between, and I help
Right.
I help with all of that.
Excellent. Well, I look forward to taking your class.
I look forward to getting to know you and being your coach for the next few months through it. So,
Thank you.
and Maurice, the good old REO days, I want to tell you, I still get REOs, and I've gotten them every step of the way. So here's the things I want to tell you guys. If any of this resonates with you, I want you to know that regardless of if it's busy or not, I would always have it as part of your business. There have been times where I've had hundreds of bank foreclosures and hundreds of investor homes, but it's just a matter of, it could be a little bit of your business or a lot, but we need to set you up as the subject matter expert in this field. So regardless of where you are or what you're going through or what's happening in the market, people are going to think of you. Okay. All right, Patricia, go ahead. Can I answer a question, Patricia? All right, I think Patricia's still on mute. Okay, I want to just fast track it just to open your mind up for a few things. Guys, we have to start and develop targeted content. I want you to look in my drive. I've got some blog posts as an example. I'm going to be giving you blog posts in our class, as well as guides and checklists for you around this process. Do people go to your blog? Do they go to your website? Those with Keller Williams, not sure if you're aware, you have a blog and you have a blog available to you. Are you utilizing, it could be AI, to create things that are specific, that when people go to Google, they look and find you? How are you letting people know that these are things that you understand and that you're passionate about? There's SEO strategies, there are social media, Google ads, and so many other things. You can, I call it, do the sweat equity concept, or you can do where you're going to have paid retargeting, high extensive marketing, and everything in between. Those that know me and know how I teach, I'm going to give a path for any of you. Some of you may want, Christina, I need the list. And I am going to do it myself. I'm going to go door drop. I want it as cheap as possible. Or I had a call today. Someone said, I just want the easy button. And the easy button is what systems for data, what companies you use to click a button and mail out a few thousand postcards at the beginning of the month. I show both. Again, marketing and leverage and cost all comes in all shapes and sizes. So I want you to know that regardless of where you're at, I'm going to teach you a shift-proof business. You can either scale it on a massive level, you can do it via sweat equity, or I'm going to teach you the systems and give you the systems available to be able to scale it on a big level. This is just a small component of what we have available. So if this is something that resonates with you, I would love to help you in the future. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Vondell, let's have some fun. So he just said, he asked me a question. Wait a minute, you said AI can create blog content for our KW blogs. Yes. So I am going to, and you guys will see as a coach, because I love to provide content and impact you guys as much as possible. I actually, AI is a beautiful thing, and I will teach you, and we will mastermind together on how to implement it into your business on a super high level. What I would say to you when it comes to that, Gracie, let's, for those that aren't aware about the chat.openai, let's just post the link. I am very much, I want to give you the simple way to get to where you need, or the where you need, that's going to impact you on the highest level possible. So again, that's something that is super passionate for me. So I personally, and I'll just share this as an extra added love, so you guys can see that I'd say as a coach and trainer, what I like to give. So I created a prompt book on things that I personally use. So check it out. When you look at the prompt book, have fun with it, play with it. And because he asked, I wanted to make sure to provide that. So you basically take the data, make it yours, and then you put it, it could be your, guys, those that are with KW, we have a powerful new website that launched with a blog. So I help you every step of the way maximize your business. And I just want you to think around the energy of hundreds of agents that are all working together to execute on the same action, and every week coming back and sharing their results. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Maurice, yes, ChatGPT. And again, that just had to do with Vondell's question. Gracie, I know she has been taking some questions. For those that have them, anything we didn't answer, we will absolutely reach out. And I'm here to support you guys in anything you need. So have an amazing day, and thank you for taking the time here today. I unfortunately have to go. I'm late past my time, but I will see you soon. And anyone else that has a question I didn't answer, reach out to me directly. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Okay.